everyone, it's Lindey. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing another eBay sales recap for my Beauty in Your Budget eBay store. If you're brand new to my YouTube channel, I like to make a lot of videos talking about how to make money while working from home, primarily by selling on eBay's platform. And every single month, I like to post a sales recap for the previous month where I talk about things like the gross sales that I had in this particular eBay store, what kind of selling costs I incurred, and then I even take you inside of my eBay account and I show you real items that sold for me over the course of the previous month. However, in today's monthly sales recap video, I want to talk about a little bit more than just sales and profits. I want to discuss having private connections regarding sourcing opportunities that you might not have thought of. And that's because one of these private sourcing connections that I have made allowed me to turn a $250 profit in under 24 hours. And without this private connection, I would not have been able to do this. And so I wanted to bring it up and talk to you about it because it happened just a couple of days ago, just under the wire for me to discuss it in this monthly sales recap video. So I know that you guys are curious as to how I made a $250 profit in under 24 hours with this connection that I made, and I will get into more detail about that shortly. But first, let's talk about all of the sales information for my Beauty in Your Budget eBay store and get into the sales recap for the month of June 2021. So my sales for the month of June did go down a little bit, but not too much. They were down only 7.5%, making my total sales for the month of June $5,360.28. eBay did collect $311.74 on my behalf for taxes and fees. My total selling costs amounted to $1,999.88, which left me with a net sales total of $3,048.66, which is down 4% from the same prior period. Now, eBay did add something to their sales report that I do like, because this was information that we used to be able to get off of the PayPal account very, very easily. But then when we all switched over to eBay managed payments, we didn't have this function anymore until eBay has now added it into their sales report function. And that is including how many units we sold during the time period and our average sales price. So from June 1st to June 30th, I sold 317 items with an average sale price of $16.91. I do want to talk about the net sales number because the net sales number is not the same as the net profit number. The net sales number does not take into account your cost of goods and any supplies that you needed to buy to run your business. So if we wanted to find my actual net profit sales from this net sales number, we would have to take that $3,048.66 net sales number and subtract all of the cost of goods as well as supplies and any paid help that I had in assisting with getting these items listed. After that, that brings my net profit from $5,360.28 down to a net profit of $1,632. Also, during the month of June, we managed to get up 256 new listings. Now, we try to shoot for around 500 new listings every single month, but for the month of June, there was about half of the month where there wasn't really a lot going on in my eBay store. My sister-in-law, Angie, who helps me list, she took a vacation. I was spending some time off because my kids are out of school. So for roughly the first half of June, we really weren't listing in eBay. And so that means that our listings were about half of what they typically would have been. But even with taking that break, we did manage to get up 256 new listings towards the end of the month, which makes the total running number of new listings year to date 2,336 new listings in my Beauty in Your Budget eBay store. Again, I am tracking this information because when I started the new year, I did have a business goal. I did want to get 500 new listings up per month, which would be 6,000 new listings by end of year. But honestly, if we got 5,000 new listings up, I would be happy. And so if I, tweak my goal a little bit and I go down to the 5,000 by the end of the year, we're almost halfway there. And since we're halfway through the year, that tells me that pretty much on track. Just gotta keep it up. Okay, so now that we got all of that out of the way, let's talk about how exactly I managed to make a $250 profit in less than 24 hours using a private connection. Wanted to discuss this because this could potentially be a sourcing opportunity that you may or may not be considering. So liquidation is my absolute favorite way to source merchandise now, and it is where 99% of my merchandise comes from. But that doesn't mean that I don't always have my feelers out looking for different connections and private opportunities to source merchandise via retail arbitrage. If you're unfamiliar with retail arbitrage, it's basically where you source discounted or off-the-shelf merchandise from a big box retail store or a mom and pop shop. So I have family that lives all over the state of Kansas, and whenever I travel to go visit family, I always pay close attention to what little convenient shops might be in the area. Because here's the thing, it's really hard to strike a good retail arbitrage deal at a big box store like Walmart or Target or CVS. But when you get those mom and pop shops, where they sell retail merchandise, but you don't have to go through a corporate ladder in order to strike a deal, that's an opportunity to buy discounted merchandise really cheap before it hits the liquidation market. Ah, you see where I'm going there, don't ya? Now, don't get me wrong, it is not very easy. You're going to get a lot of no's, but if you happen to come across a small pharmacy or a small brick and mortar where they might sell retail items like the big box stores do, it's very, very easy to just walk in and strike up a conversation with a manager or an owner and let them know that you are interested in buying merchandise from them at a discount if they have merchandise that they need to liquidate or move for maybe cash flow purposes, or maybe they need to make room for new stock. And that's exactly what happened with these ink cartridges. Ink cartridges were how I made that really quick $250 profit. So there was this little store that I had stumbled upon. It was definitely not a typical retail store. They kind of looked like they had some thrift kind of stuff, but then they also had retail goods. It almost reminded me of maybe them sourcing truckloads and just selling whatever they had on the truckload. So I walk into the store. I had never been in there before. I was just kind of poking around and I noticed stacks of ink cartridges behind the counter. They were not labeled for sale. I just knew what they were because I could see them from a distance, just stacks upon stacks of ink cartridges. There was 26 of them. Most of them were the same kind, but I inquired about them and they had told me that they didn't know exactly how to price them or what to do with them because they were all expired. And I just simply said, well, I would be interested in them. How much would you sell them to me for? They really weren't sure, so I just told them, would you take $100 for all of them? When I said $100 for all 26 cartridges, their face just lit up because I think that they thought they were just gonna have to throw them all away because they weren't good anymore. They weren't valid dates. So for $100, I was able to buy 26 packages of HP expired ink. I also gave them my contact information and I let them know that I was an online seller, and if they had any other merchandise like that that they needed to move out, to give me a call and we could work out a deal. And that's exactly how you make connections like that. You go to the small mom and pop shops or the small brick and mortars that sell the kind of merchandise that you're wanting to source, and you have conversations with them and you build partnerships. And I have no doubt that I will be able to source merchandise like this again from this place. So on Tuesday, June 29th, they were listed in my public eBay store, and within 24 hours, all but 2 ink cartridges sold out. Now, one buyer in particular bought the majority of the ink cartridges. They had sent me a best offer for 16 of the 2-pack HP for $10 a piece. And then they also sent me an offer for 3 of the color HP ink cartridges. Now that totaled $186.25 just for the ink cartridges, but I have also started charging shipping on all new listings. So now I told you guys that I was considering switching to charge shipping when I found out about this possible new USPS postage rate increase to take effect at the end of August. So all new listings for the last couple of weeks have been charged shipping. And now because the shipping charge is automatically added together, that meant that this potential buyer actually paid $84.20 for shipping all of these ink cartridges priority. Now I do not have the discounted shipping option turned on just yet. I'm still kind of feeling my way through charging shipping on items now. I'm not sure what kind of discount I'll want to do just yet, but that meant that this buyer paid $270.45 on all 19 of these ink cartridges. And then there were 7 other sets that sold at profit as well. So after all shipping costs and eBay fees and taking out my $100 cost of goods, that makes my total profit so far on all of this ink around $250, and I still have 2 packages left to sell. Now I do suspect that these 2 other ink cartridges might take a little bit of time to sell because they are far more expired than the ones that sold already, but I have no doubt that they will eventually sell, and I've already made 3.5 times my money back so far. All right, so now is the time where I take you into my Beauty in Your Budget eBay store back end and show you real items that sold for me over the last month. But before we do that, I do want to give just a quick thank you to the sponsor of today's sold video. Wholesale Ninjas has been a partner of my YouTube channel for almost 2 years now because they are my favorite source of merchandise for my eBay store. Like I said, 99% of the merchandise that I sell online comes from Liquidation, and most of that comes from Wholesale Ninjas because they are by far the best in quality control than I have ever experienced. As a matter of fact, I was the one that reached out to them because I was getting orders from them and I thought that everything was just packaged so beautifully. There wasn't a ton of stickers to remove like I was noticing from other companies that I had gotten merchandise from. I also appreciate the things that Wholesale Ninjas does to make the buying experience a lot easier on resellers like us, especially regarding pallets. When I started getting into buying pallets, I very quickly noticed how expensive and slow freight delivery is, but Wholesale Ninjas provides what is called a pallet breakdown service. I've never seen any other liquidation company do something like this. What it is you pay a flat shipping fee on qualifying pallets, and they will actually break down the pallet into smaller boxes and ship those boxes via ground versus paying for expensive, slow freight delivery. So you get your pallet merchandise faster and cheaper than having to schedule a big box truck to drop it off at your house. Now, not every pallet qualifies for this pallet breakdown service, but the Target Master Case pallets, which are my personal favorite, do. Also, for the month of July, Wholesale Ninjas is running a special coupon code on their pallets. If you use code LINDEYJULY, you'll get $35 off of every pallet that you want to buy. Most of the coupon codes that I have are for one-time use only, but this one is not. If you wanted to buy multiple pallets, the coupon will apply to each one. But of course, if you're not really ready for pallets just yet, I do have my regular coupon code that's just Lindey25 that gets you $25 off of any box slot on the Wholesale Ninjas website. I will make sure to link to some of my favorite products down in the video description below in case you're interested. Thank you again to Wholesale Ninjas for partnering with me and sponsoring today's sold video. Now let's go on over into my back end and I will show you exactly what items sold for me over the month of June. Okay, over 300 items sold last month, so I'm gonna try to scroll through as much of these as I can. You guys know I can never make it through a full month. So I'm just gonna kind of point out the noteworthy things and then I'll just continue to scroll through. So of course, the most recent one here up at the top are those ink cartridges I was telling you about where someone had sent me the offers and they paid a total of $294.45 with their shipping. I am selling a lot of water bottles right now. I do have multiple children-sized ones that have sold out. I did take a best offer of $10 on this Minnie Mouse 12-ounce Cool Mist water bottle. So it's one of those where you can drink the water and then it also has a little trigger where you can mist yourself with it. Sold a total of 10 eyeliner pencils to someone. So it was a lot of 5. Someone bought 2 lots for $35.20. I did sell a whole bunch of toothbrushes towards the end of the month as well. I had gotten some in, got them all listed, and I had, I want to say 5 of these Oral-B Pro 5000 sell for around the $53 price point. Here's a set of 2 micro series games. So it was a Simon Says and a Bop It. Both of them sold together for $25.54. Completely sold out of these Olay Luminous Hydrating Face Lotion. Someone bought 2 of them for $20.68. So this is one of the cosmetic items that came out of the palette that I just recently showed you guys. So I had gotten that palette of cosmetics. There was roughly, 5,800, almost 6,000 units. And that was kind of what I started doing the charge shipping on. So I started charging shipping on cosmetics. So this is the first example I have of that here. It's a lot of 3 Black Radiance foundation sticks. So it's a lot of 3 sold for $14.71 plus shipping. So that made the total purchase price $21.05 on those. Same thing here. It was 2 men's Old Spice Captain Bravery and Bergamot deodorant. So 2 of these deodorants sold for a whopping $14.88 plus shipping. So total of $21.92 on 2 men's Old Spice Captain deodorants. I had someone send me an offer on 2 lots of 2 of these Olay Eyes Collagen Peptide Eye Creams. So they sent me an offer for $32 for 2 sets, so $32 for 4 total containers plus the cost of shipping, so they ended up paying $43.40. Here's some more cosmetics that came out of that palette that did have charge shipping. So far, I'm not really noticing the charge shipping having a hindrance on the ability for things to sell. This week I started selling, a decent amount of cosmetics that did have the charge shipping. I want to say like half the cosmetics that have gone out so far did have the charge shipping. I do plan to do an entire video talking all about my experience with switching to charge shipping, so make sure you're subscribed and await that video. It's going to take me a couple of months to really get a good feel on it, but I will put out a video when that is ready. So like this one is an e.l.f. Beautifully Bare foundation. So someone bought 2 of them for a total of $11.18 plus shipping. So they paid a total of $21.23. And then that same person actually bought a different shade. It's very, very similar, but they paid $5.68 plus shipping. So if we total that up together, they paid roughly, mental math time, $32.79 total for all 3 of those. And here's some more of the ink cartridges. So these were the same ones that someone had put in an offer on a big lot of them. They were selling individually for $12.88 plus shipping, so $19.26 for each single one. See, there's a few of those. This person had bought 2. So they bought 2 for $25.76 plus shipping for a total of $36.32. Yep, here's another cosmetic, $6.44 plus shipping, so $10.69 for this LA Girl Pro Coverage Illuminating Foundation in shade Soft Honey. There's another water bottle for $10.43. That one is just Mickey Mouse. So here's 3 bottles of the CND Nail Rescue that came out of that cosmetics palette. I also did want to let you guys know that the full palette sorting video is going to be the next video released on my YouTube channel, so be looking out for that one. It's going to be a really good video. I have my sister-in-law Angie demonstrating how that entire sorting process went for that entire cosmetics palette. I really, really love that video. I hope you guys like it too. It's going to be the next one to go up. 3 of these nail rescues sold for $26.49 plus shipping, so a total of $33.84. Some more bronzer sticks sold for $20.94 with shipping. So this person had sent me an offer for 3 of the Oral-B Pro 5000. So they sent me an offer for $144 for all 3 of them, which I accepted. Let me scroll through. Oh, there's another Oral-B Pro 5000 for $49. I'm going to do a lot of scrolling just so you guys can take a peek at what's here. There's a set of Baby Girl sleeper jammies sold for $14.29 for the set. Oh, here's some native bar soaps. So I've had these native bar soaps, the cucumber and mint. I've had them listed for a bit because I had so many of them and they've just been slowly selling. And so I sold another 2 lots of 2 for a total of $26.78. Here was a Disney Pixar Cars 3 Uno game sold for $14.29. Here's a lot of 2OGX Quench Sea Mineral Deep Hair Treatment, sold on best offer for $24. There's another lot of 5 of those Maybelline eyeliners, sold for $16.20. Here's a Diver Standard Youth Swim Goggle Mask, sold for $15.70. A Revlon Pro Brilliant Shine Pink Hair Dryer, sold on best offer for $15 plus shipping, so they paid a total of $30.02. Started selling through some more of the L'Oreal Sublime Tanning Oil. Sold 2 bottles for $20.35. I still have 25 lots remaining, so I have a whole bunch of those left to sell. Again, I sold another one of those Nexus Defining Curl Cream Gels. I really do think it's because these are discontinued because they are selling for such a high dollar amount. One 5.5 ounce tube is selling for $41.83. I still have 7 left also. So they just showed up in a box one day. I'm like, what the heck is this price point? I think they've got to be discontinued being that price point for sure. I'm pretty sure that I've completely sold out of all of these Eamon Second to None foundation. It's the cream to powder foundations that were in the cosmetic palette. That was one of the first things that we got listed, and they all sold for around this $20 price point, $20.41. I want to say there was 3 different shades. There was just one of this shade in particular, and all of them sold out at around the $20 price point. There was one I think sold for around $15, but it was because it was a little bit damaged, like on the package here. It was kind of like dented in, and so I cut someone a best offer deal on it because it was damaged, but it still sold for 15 bucks. Let's scroll down here a little bit. I like to try to get into the things that you guys haven't seen on these sales recaps before, because I do end up selling a lot of the same kind of items because I do have multiple quantities or I get more items in. And so I'd like to try to show you guys stuff that hasn't been shown in these videos before. Here's another Eamon pressed powder. So someone bought 2 of them for $38.92. Oh, here's something. So this is an Easy Flush automatic sensor for toilet tank sensors that you see on commercial toilets, like if you go into a public restroom. So sold on best offer for $115, and it sold within a couple of days. That ended up showing up in an order. I had no idea what it was, and I just kind of set it on my shelf, just like with those hairstylers. I was like, I have no idea what this is. I'll look into it later. Little did I know it was worth that much. Again, just like the hairstylers, I can't believe I left it sitting on the shelf as long as I did. That was just dumb. Learn from my mistakes, everybody. Don't just stick stuff on shelves. Actually look them up before you do that so you know if they're actually worth money. Here's another Kristen S. Root Control Styling Iron, sold for $36.69. Some Olay Advanced Face Moisturizer, sold for $18.11. A Cool Gear large water bottle with a freezer stick inside, sold for $22.98. Here's another water pick that was missing tips. So I talked a lot about this in last month's sales recap because that was when I really started getting a lot of this kind of stuff listed. And I was really, just then seeing how much value there was in even things like water picks that were missing pieces. So this water pick was the WP462W model, and it was missing half the tips, but it still sold for $37.03. There's another Eamon powder, sold for $20.41. See, they are sold out, 0 available. A lot of 2 Fruit of the Earth aloe vera gel for $14. 'Tis the season for aloe vera and sunburns. Someone bought 2 water picks that were missing the tips for $58.32. I keep selling these. I don't know if you're noticing as I'm scrolling through, but I still have these Nexus Salon Pro split end overnight hair treatment masks. So I've been selling them on best offer for around $20, but they're initially listed for, I want to say $26 or $27. And I still have 30 left. I keep selling them and it's like they're never ending. I have so many of them. It's kind of funny. Here's the one that sold for $15 on best offer. It had just a little bit of damage on it. 2 water picks missing pieces for $46. Got, oh, another goggle swim mask sold for $14.71. This was a Nickelodeon Paw Patrol. It was Sky, the pink one, the little girl dog. This Pacifica Sun After Sun body spray, the pineapple flower. So this actually sold it to someone in Canada. So they ended up paying $17.94 for the body spray plus shipping. So the total was $39.19. And so that went up to Canada. So this came in that most recent Wholesale Ninjas Target Master Case unboxing that I did with my husband, Matt. So this is one of those silver clutch handbags with a strap. It was really sparkly, really blingy. So I had a 6 case pack of those. And so I have 5 left, but this one sold for $18.98. There's another one of those bar soaps sold for $14.14. There's another L'Oreal Sublime oil spray for $20.79. Here's a pack of 2 sets of 3 Zuru Smashers sold for $16.13. I think I mentioned this on the last sales video that we started listing some of the smaller toys that we didn't sell over Christmas. So we are just now finally, getting through our death piles and putting them on eBay so we can at least get them sold. A John Frieda Brilliant Brunette Multi-Tone Shampoo and Illuminating Conditioner set sold for $26.59. A lot of cosmetics sold last month. I have noticed kind of an influx in cosmetics starting to sell. I do think it has a lot to do with mask mandates being lifted. And so people, or rather women, are starting to wear more makeup. So that has been nice to see. Someone bought 3 lots of 2 of these Ardell magnetic accent lashes for best offer of $36. Now here's a set of 2 Diane by Fromm 5.5-inch scissors sold for $19.78. Someone bought 2 Burt's Bees night creams for $21.86. My last 2 sets of Juice Organics Passion Flower volumizing shampoo and conditioner sets. Someone bought the last 2 for a total of $42.10. Oh, these were nice sales. So 2 different people bought these back to back. They're the really large pump bottles of the Arga Natural Retinol Tightening Lotions. They're a big 34-ounce bottle. I did end up shipping these in regional A boxes to save on shipping because they were way too big for the regular flat rate or even the padded flat rate. I probably could have squeezed it in a padded flat rate and maybe, wrap some cardboard around it a little bit, but I just didn't want to risk it. So I went ahead and just put them in regional A boxes. They both sold for $27.58 a piece. Oh, here was a lot of 3 Aveeno Calm and Restore triple oat serum. 3 bottles sold for $32 on best offer. Oh, here was a Thai Beanie Babies fashion sequin slippers. This was Owen the Owl. So 1 pair of slippers sold for $10.93. These were, little girl size large. And so they fit just in a really small box and they shipped for about 8 ounces. So they were really, really cheap to ship. Oh, let's see if we can make it onto the next page. We're almost to the beginning of June. We've almost looked at the full month so far. Yep, here we are in the first week. I want to find one more thing that maybe we haven't seen before. Here was a Mega Constructs Despicable Me 3 building block set sold for $13.78. Oh, here we go. We had some fun stuff towards the beginning of the month here. So this is a Lego Marvel Avengers Hall of Fame Armor 524-piece box set. So the box was damaged. So I did sell it for a lot less than I normally would have. I sold it on best offer for $31 plus shipping. So they paid a total of $40.90 for it. A lot of 3 packages of Pond's Micellar wipes in Brightening Rose sold on best offer for $19. Someone bought the last 2 of these Snail anti-wrinkle creams. I accepted a best offer of $38 on the last 2 of those. There was a PJ Masks, again, toys. PJ Masks Power of Mystery quad vehicle sold for $18.83. A baby shark, it was the daddy shark, the blue one, sold for $16.99. Oh, there we go. There's a fun one. So it was the Nintendo Super Mario, it's a me, a Mario, motion activated 12-inch action figure that sold for $30 on best offer. A 4-pack of Gain fireworks scent booster beads sold for $35.13. And then here we are at the beginning of the month. Oh, yep, we're going into May now. The very first sale of June was an order from one buyer. It was for a Disney Frozen 2 wet brush, Disney Frozen 2 goggles, and a set of 9 Squish'ems Yummy Series mystery packages. So they bought all of those together for $40.33. And look at that, we made it through the whole month this time. Look at me go. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video and videos like it, please do remember to give it a thumbs up before you leave. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already and ring the notification bell. That way you're notified whenever I post a new video. Don't forget to check the video description. I always put a lot of useful information in there. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down in the comments below. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I will see you with my next video. Bye-bye.